I am Gabriela, a cloud support engineer here at AWS office in Dublin. Today, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot the HTTP 502 error. Let's get started. Scenario 1. There's a host header or orange domain name mismatch in the SSL negotiation between Amazon CloudFront distribution and the customer orange. When CloudFront is connecting to your orange using SSL connection on port 443, the certificate attached to your orange server must match with either the host header forward or with the orange domain configured on CloudFront distribution. Let's check it. After logging into the AWS Management Console, navigate to the CloudFront console. Open your distribution. Verify that your certificate matches either the orange domain or with the host header forward. If the certificate matches with the orange domain, then you don't need to change the configuration on CloudFront side, but you must add the certificate on your orange server. If the certificate matches with the request custom domain name request URL, then you must configure CloudFront to forward the host header to your orange. You must do this so that CloudFront can validate the SSL certificate on the orange with the forward host header and make a successful SSL handshake. To configure CloudFront to forward the host header, go to Behaviors and select the behavior. Choose Add. Go to Cache Key and Orange Requests. If you are using Cache Legacy, then in Headers, select Include the following headers. Select the host, save changes. If you are using Cache Policy and Orange Request Policy, then in Origin Request Policy, select All Viewer, which automatically forward all the headers that includes host header as well. If you don't want to do this, you can create a new cache orange request policy and allow list only the host header to be forwarded. Save changes. After you save the changes, wait CloudFront finish deploying and then try to access your distribution again. Scenario 2. Check that there is an SSL negotiation failure because the SSL certificate on the orange is expired or invalid, or because the certificate chain is invalid. To test the SSL negotiation and to check the orange server certificate using the OpenSSL command. Note, if your orange server has multiple SSL certificates, or if your distribution is configured to forward the host header, which is your case here, then you must add the server name with the OpenSSL command. When you see the output, check the common name and subject names. Review the certificate chain, the certificate authorities, and the expiration dates. When I review the output for error message, I can see that the verification was okay. It's a best practice that you use certificates issued by AWS Certificate Manager. If you are not using a certificate issued by AWS Certificate Manager, then you must use certificates authorities trusted by Mozilla. You can find Mozilla lists on our public documentation. Requirements for using SSL TLS certificates with CloudFront. See the link in the video description. Scenario 3. There is an SSL negotiation failure because the orange is using SSL protocols and ciphers that aren't supported by CloudFront. To verify the ciphers and protocols of your certificate, using the OpenSSL command that we used previously. Here are the ciphers and protocols of my certificate. If your certificates protocol or ciphers aren't on that list, then they are not supported, and you will see the HTTP 502 error. Scenario 4. The orange isn't respond on the ports specified in the orange settings of the CloudFront distribution. CloudFront connects to the orange through HTTP port 8 and HTTPS port 443. Make sure that your orange allows TCP traffic on port 8 and 443. You must also check whether you have a firewall running that can block CloudFront IPs. You can review the CloudFront IP range on the public documentation, locations and IP address ranges of CloudFront edge servers. In addition, verify whether your web server is running on the orange. Scenario 5. HTTP 502 error. Your orange is closing the connection to CloudFront too quickly. To check why the orange is closing the connection too quickly, you must check the orange server's logs, or you must check whether there is any firewall on the orange that is closing the connection. Scenario 6. HTTP 502. There is a Lambda Edge validation error. If you have a Lambda Edge attached to your distribution, HTTP 502 error might indicate that your AWS Lambda Edge function was incorrectly formed or included invalid content. Let's confirm whether the HTTP 502 error was caused by the Lambda Edge by checking CloudFront response headers. First, let's open the developer tools in your browser. To check the response headers, select the Network tab. Now, let's open the URL that will cause the Lambda Edge validation error. On the Network tab, let's check the response headers returned by CloudFront. First, select the object that shows the error. Here we have the response headers. Let's check the Xcache value. You can see the Xcache value is Lambda validation error from CloudFront. From here, you must check Lambda Edge logs to troubleshoot your Lambda Edge errors. Scenario 7. HTTP 502 error, DNS error, non-S3 orange DNS error. This error occurs when CloudFront can't connect to your orange because of a DNS misconfiguration or if your DNS server isn't working correctly. To troubleshoot this, first make sure that the alternative name servers of your orange root domain are working. To check that, you must find the name servers for your orange root domain. You can use a DNS lookup to verify that. Let's do this with the dig command. On your terminal, enter the following. At the answer section, you will see the name servers for your orange root domain. Now that you have the name servers, you can use a dig command to carry the domain name of your orange against the name servers that you just received in the output. Note that you might see the following. If you don't get this response, then you have a DNS configuration problem or that your DNS server isn't working correctly. You must contact your DNS server for support. Thanks for watching and happy cloud computing from all of us here at AWS.